Okay, here is another skill that you may need. Claude is very likely to figure it out on its own, which kind of depends on the sequencer that you use, etc. In my case, I use instantly. So let me tell you, or show you rather, what it is I'm talking about. When in other videos I already talked about um, sequence campaigns and dynamic email campaigns, right? So we have skills that write emails where we have 1v1 email writing and we have sequence writing. Now, if we're writing a sequence, it's pretty straightforward because then we can just have a campaign. Let me pull up a random one. So here's a random one that I sent to a friend. So when I'm nerding out over this new deliverability hack or trick I was testing out, and this is very straightforward, right? So we have a sequence and Claude writes it for us, creates the campaign, the sequence goes in the campaign, and the leads go in there. That is all very straightforward. And that is something that we can already do without an additional skill. We can just tell Claude, hey, listen, I connected my sequencer. Now create this campaign, right? So that's that. But it is advised, and I'm going to attach my skills so you can use them as a template or give them to Claude so that Claude understands it better. It is advised to have a dynamic email one as well, because there are cases where, like in the video went over with the clay workflow, where we're actually writing an email to each and every person, right? And in that case, we need to have dynamic email in there because each lead has a different email. So imagine you have a CSV, you have lead number one, the email that we are sending them, so the text of the email. We have lead number two, the text of the email that we're sending to them, and then the column is just called dynamic email. And this is what that would look like. So here we have the name we're reaching out to, their email, and then every person gets a different type of email, so with their first name in it. So here we have dynamic email, and that is this right here. So we need to teach Claude, or we can teach Claude just in case, to do that, where we say, okay, if you're writing one by one emails to every single lead, then make sure that we add that dynamic email, and that we add that as a custom variable in our sequencer. Every sequencer does that differently. So that's why I'm not creating a skill here together with you, just because how instantly does it is slightly different than how to outreach does it, sales loft, Apollo, a million sequencers under the sun. So I'm going to attach my skill, and you can give it to Claude, and you can say, hey, listen, this is how it works for instantly. This is my sequencer. Make a skill and make it work for me, and it will just catch it like that. So that's the idea. And it's just something that you have to be aware of, and that you need to have a quick little look at your sequencer, how they deal with it, and so that Claude can actually build this skill for you. Again, my skill is attached. Use the template, give it to Claude, say this is my sequencer, see how this works, and then set it up for me.